It's Christmas 2020, and I see you're interested in watching Jingle All the Way. Here's what you need to know about the movie. This film stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad, Jake Lloyd, Phil Hartman, and Rita Wilson. Howard Langston is a busy salesman who's so caught up in his work that he forgets to buy his son a Christmas present. Unfortunately for Howard, his son has his heart set on one toy this year, Turbo Man, and finding this highly popular toy right before Christmas becomes an incredibly difficult challenge. This movie does have some pretty funny moments. One of my favorites is when Arnold's character Howard is on the phone talking to his neighbor Ted, who is in his house eating cookies, and Howard doesn't like that and yells at him to put the cookie down now. There's also some pretty humorous action scenes in this movie, including scenes where Howard is in the Mall of America, a warehouse full of angry Santas, and a scene at the end where he's in a parade wearing a superhero costume. There's also some pretty interesting cameos in this movie, including appearances from Martin Mull, Jim Belushi, and Chris Parnell, and interestingly enough, this was the very first movie Chris Parnell was ever in. I also really liked Sinbad's character Myron. His character is sympathetic because he's also trying to get his son a toy, but at the same time, he's extremely crazy and unpredictable, helping Howard out one minute and stabbing him in the back the next, but the entire time, he's hilarious. And I also enjoyed that everyone was looking for the Turbo Man doll, and everyone hated the Booster doll, but that's all that was on the shelves. I also really liked the concept of this film because everyone can relate to trying to find the perfect Christmas gift for somebody right before Christmas time. The characters in this movie are pretty simplistic and cheesy, and oftentimes the acting's not too great. I thought this was kind of an odd role to cast Arnold in, because in real life he's an Austrian bodybuilder, and in this movie he's supposed to be a hardworking American businessman that doesn't have time for his family. So when does he find time to work out? Another thing I disliked about this movie that I also kind of liked too was Howard's neighbor Ted. The whole movie he's trying to get with Howard's wife, and I like how funny it is when he's just trying too hard, but sometimes he tries so hard that it's more cringeworthy than funny. I expected this movie to be pretty over the top, but I didn't realize it was going to be quite as cheesy or outlandish as it was. There is a Jingle All the Way too, starring Larry the Cable Guy, but I don't think it's tied into the original. There's some pretty good action scenes in this movie that have some decent effects, but there's also a few kind of outdated effects as well. But in all honesty, I think it just adds to the cheesiness of the movie and just makes it a little more enjoyable. Although this definitely has the look and feel of a 90s movie, I think the whole overall concept of a father trying to find his son the perfect Christmas present still holds relevant today. Most of Sinbad's dialogue in this film was actually improvised, and Arnold did a lot of improvising himself, especially when he was talking to Sinbad's character. There's a scene where Howard's fighting a warehouse full of Santas, and the little one that's on his back that gets punched off is actually played by Vern Troyer, who you may recognize as Mini-Me from the Austin Powers series, and the big Santa that punches him off is the wrestler The Big Show. So if you want your holidays to be extra special this year, then stop on by Hollywood Nick's Videorama and pick up a copy of Jingle All the Way. And have a Merry Christmas.